Welcome to your next installment of Express Yourself, right? So we're here discussing a very important question, right? People always want to know, should I use slang or colloquial language in the new language that I'm learning? Whatever language it is, but here we're talking about English, how to speak English like a native, right? So do I need to use slang? Do I need to learn slang and colloquial terms? The answer is yes, without a doubt. You need to learn the slang of English and colloquial terms, right? For sure, right? No doubt about it. What do we mean by slang or colloquial term? We mean terms that you're not going to use in literature. You're not going to use this when writing your essay for college. You're not going to use this if you're going to give a speech, right? Except sometimes you want to, endear yourself to the crowd. You'll use some terms. But for the most part, when you go to present your master's degree thesis, you're not going to use colloquial terms. But when you're talking to the average person, even at the workplace, when you're talking with your coworkers, you're going to use slang and colloquial terms, and they're going to use them. So you're going to want to know what they mean by this. So one, maybe you don't offend them, and they don't offend you because of what they're saying, and you think that they mean something different. So you want to know these things. They're very important, right? And again, we're talking about things that may not be grammatically correct. So you're not going to learn this in school in your school books. This is something you learn just from speaking or from watching Express Yourself. Okay, so slang or not, for sure, you want to learn slang. Why? One, it's a form of endearment. When you talk the language that the common person speaks on the street, the person in the grocery store, even at the doctor's office, right? It's going to endear them to you. It's going to make them feel like you're one of them, right? And that's important to be included in the society that you're living in, or the society that you might want to work in America, or you might try to get a job, even if it's remote, a remote job in America, right? Or just to, familiarize yourself better with the language. Because the more that you're able to express yourself in different forms and fashion, it shows a dexterity with the language that you're using, meaning that you're able to manipulate the language that you're speaking for your benefit, right? For people to understand you better. So that's endearment, meaning that you want the people to include you, to let you feel like, you're one of them. It makes you beloved to them when you're using terms that makes them feel good. How's the fam? How you feeling? How's everything going? All is well? All of these type of things. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? All of these are, terms that we use on a day-to-day basis that we understand when we say it to each other. And it makes it easier for us to talk in our ears. As the next part goes, it makes it easy for us to understand each other. Why? All of us, for the most part, are able to understand grammatically correct English, and all of us, for the most part, can speak it. But on a day-to-day basis, we don't use it always. And we get more familiar with hearing our slang and colloquial terms than we do with hearing, how are you today? How is your day going? When we hear this, it might make us a little like, oh, okay, I'm all right. Why are you talking like that? So ease of understanding. It makes our ears have gotten used to hearing, how's your day going instead of how is. And our ears, once your ears accept it faster, then your brain is going to process it quicker as well. So ease of understanding. It shows cultural attachment. Any culture that you want to either work in or live in, if you're able to speak the language that people talk on a day-to-day basis, it shows that you have some attachment to that culture. It does not mean at all that you forget and, drop your own culture. No, you keep your culture, right? But you also want to show some respect and attachment to the culture that you're living in by being able to express yourself in the language of that culture, okay? And also when you learn the idioms meaning, quick terms that express a long meaning or a huge meaning. For example, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to skin a cat. One monkey doesn't stop a show. One monkey doesn't stop a show. When you say this in English, it has a broad meaning. A person understands it and they feel it. Even though it's a short idiom, and say one monkey doesn't stop a show, it means something to a person. You're going through something, your tire fell off or whatever happens. Man, one monkey doesn't stop a show. Let's keep going. Let's keep struggling. Let's keep fighting. However it might go, right? Immersion. It shows that that you've immersed yourself in that culture where and in the language of that now that not only are you speaking it grammatically correct, but you know enough of it that you can play with the words and lead into the next point, sound cool. I mean, who doesn't want to sound cool? Who doesn't want to be laughed at? Especially when, it doesn't mean that you're unintellectual, by speaking this way, because you know both ways. You definitely want to know grammatically correct English, to be able to write papers and do things of that nature. But you also want to speak to the common Joe. What do we mean by the common Joe? That's another phrase that we use. The common Joe is the average person, right? You want to be able to express yourself to the average person because that's who you will be dealing with more out of your day than writing your papers, speaking at work. You're going to be talking to average Americans. Average Americans are going to be the ones you're going to see at the grocery store. Average Americans are the ones that you're going to be asking for help and directions and so on and so forth. So learn that, understand that, and always, always, always express yourself. Have a good day.